Good afternoon everybody and welcome to the Facebook for Business Success webinar. My name is Zoe Wyatt and I'm the social media specialist for the Creative Collective. We're very proud to bring this webinar to you on behalf of the Department of Employment, Economic Development and Innovation. Today we're going to be looking at the ways how social media, in particular Facebook, can benefit your business. But for those of you that have already delved into social media and you are on Twitter, we do have a Twitter hashtag. It's hashtag QLDBIZ, so Queensland Biz QLDBIZ. If you're on Twitter, I encourage you to take part of the conversation there, be using the hashtag and be tweeting some of the points from the webinar that I'm sharing with you today, because it will benefit all business owners and it helps to build a community around your business and get you some additional exposure from participating in the webinar. Now, if what I've just said is double Dutch to you, then you need to jump on the Twitter training, which I will be holding on Monday. You can sign up for that the same way, a free resource, and I'll be going into Twitter hashtags, the language of Twitter, and everything you need to use Twitter to promote your business. But let's jump into Facebook. So today we're going to be covering establishing your Facebook framework, looking at how to distinguish between the different structure in Facebook, so profiles, pages, groups, and events. What's the difference? Which ones you really need for business marketing and why? And this is really important. Probably the biggest mistake I see business owners making on Facebook is they have their structure set up incorrectly, and a lot of cases are going against the rules and regulations of Facebook, are in danger of having their entire Facebook presence deleted, so make sure you're listening for that one. We're also going to look at friends and likers and how do you separate the two. How do you choose between your personal and business use of Facebook, and in doing so look at privacy settings, friends lists, and a whole lot of hosts of other mechanisms that you can use to still use Facebook yourself for personal reasons, but to use it very professionally to promote your business as well. In that, we're going to look at how to set up your business page and how to maximize the exposure and grow your community and actually get people to that page and get a business result from the work that you're doing on Facebook. Before we jump into that, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Zoe Wyatt. As I said, I am the social media specialist for the Creative Collector. I'm also the owner and creator of Social Media Shortcut. The biggest thing for me is I operate multiple businesses myself, and everything I'm training you on today I use in my own business to promote my business through Facebook. I was an early adopter of social media, and I have been generally in social media since 2008. I started with video marketing and Twitter and then moved across to Facebook, and it's now one of my primary marketing resources. I have also developed social media training programs for clients in 7 different countries. Although we'll be focusing on how to use Facebook and the stats and numbers in Australia today, worldwide there's some very similar trends going on, and it could potentially open your market up to a wider audience and even a global audience for some of you. I also have a Twitter following well over 50,000 on my personal account, and we've just cracked over 100,000 views on YouTube. So if you're looking at using video marketing or YouTube as part of your strategy and using social media marketing, I encourage you again to get on our later webinar topic on video marketing. We've also got thousands of likes on Facebook, on our pages, and on LinkedIn as well. Now, what I'd like to say is Facebook was actually started out of a university. So we talk about Facebook. A lot of you will have seen the Social Network movie, and there's a lot of element of truth in that. So it was actually set up for communication within the universities in America, where they all had Facebooks where you could see who their students were. There was one missing there. There's a much greater detail in that, but in a business sense, it's not. What you really need to know is now it has grown globally. There's some 845 million active users on Facebook. What I'd like to know from everybody on the webinar today, we had some interactivity facilities available. So you have 2 options available to you. You can pop your hand up and actually raise your hand where you see that in the toolbox on the side, or you can pop into the question bar and text chat some time in. So for those of you that are already using Facebook, already on Facebook, could you pop into the text there when you first started using Facebook, or your level of experience with Facebook so far, into the question box so I can see those coming up, because it will help me to give you a training that's at the correct level for the majority of participants on the line today. So 2011, Leah, 2 months ago, 2 years, 6 years. Okay, we've got an early adopter as well. We've got a few that have been around for a number of years. Yesterday, fantastic. Some of you not yet on the network. 2007, I think, so 5+ years, 2 years. We have a really large variety of experience on the call, which is fantastic. I'm going to give value for both of you without overwhelming those very new people, and some resources where you can go away and learn a whole lot more about. Obviously, I can't teach you Facebook marketing in an hour, but I'm going to give absolute best to give you a very solid structure and some action points to go away with to maximize the results for your business. Okay, as of February 2012, there were 10.73 million Facebook users in Australia. That's over half of our population. It's a fairly even mix between the male and female users. I'm happy to say most people think of Facebook for some reason as being the mum's network. It's definitely not, although the largest age group is currently the 25 to 34-year-olds. This is in Australia we're talking about. It is closely followed by the 18 to 24-year-olds. But the largest gain, or the fastest growing demographic, is the 45 to 54-year-olds, and in fact it's the females in that demographic that are growing the fastest. So the baby boomers are starting to jump onto Facebook, and somewhere in there I'm almost positive is your target clientele. So if you're in a business to consumer market, then your target market is going to be on Facebook, even if you're in quite a narrow niche. It's amazing the demographics of people that are using Facebook and how wide it is. There's some work there from Social Bakers if you do want to go and have a look at more in-depth data of use of Facebook in Australia as well. Okay, so how can you be using Facebook for business purposes there? And this is vital that we as marketers maximize that huge footprint of people and potential clientele without becoming salesy or spammy, because most of those 845 million people are on Facebook to socialize. So we do need to be interrupting them somewhat with our marketing message. The best way to do that is to connect and engage with an audience. Now you can be offering them specials and have a marketing intent, but I'm going to show you today how to structure that marketing message so it comes across more as communicative rather than just being salesy. The biggest gain for me for business out of Facebook is the potential search engine results. Facebook is now the second most trafficked website in the world behind Google. In fact, in August last year it overtook Google that month as the #1 website, but also you'll find too that the amount of time that the average user is spending on Facebook far exceeds the average time that the users are spending on Google. So when you've got a huge audience spending on average 5.5 hours per week on the site, you can see the potential not only to get your messages across, but to get your messages out into the newsfeed, to go viral and then to be found on the search engines as well. If you're looking to promote products and services, you can create a community. I have brand advocates around my business now through the community I've set up on Facebook. I am also using it to drive traffic back to my website. And that's a vital tip there, guys. You don't just want to build an amazing Facebook community and have all these wonderful conversations and warm, fuzzy feelings going on. You need to think of it in your overall marketing plan in terms of funneling the leads and funneling those conversations back to a website, back to a property that you own, and converting them into sales and to dollars into your business. So I can just see by show of hands, if I can see a bubble on the screen that you think would be a benefit to your business. And if you can type into the chat box which one it is. What's your one primary intent at this stage with using Facebook for your business? What do you think it would be? Pop those into the chat box for me because I can then dwell some more on those particular points. Getting found, okay, very definitely getting your brand out there, traffic through the websites. A lot of people don't think of the SEO advantages for using social media, but it's absolutely huge. A lot of connecting, marketing, exposure, creating community. Interestingly, to be seen as being modern and innovative is another one that's coming up in your chat as well. It's so true. A lot of your audience now expect you to be on Facebook. Facebook is the it's the third largest search engine on the internet behind Google and YouTube. And a lot of people now are choosing to go straight into Facebook and search for companies and services and bypassing Google altogether. Connect, engage, and promote products. Yeah, that's a really big one. Thank you for that, Dawn, as well. Okay, let's move on. So it looks like every one of you has got at least one goal there, overriding goal. And I encourage you to do that. Really come in with a strategy of what are you trying to achieve with your Facebook marketing. Now, for those of you that are just getting started with Facebook, so we've had a lot of you who have already said you're already on Facebook. Could you raise your hands for me for those of you that have not yet on Facebook? Let me just have a look. Okay, we have got a couple. Got a few of you. So what you need to be doing with your Facebook, okay, I'll cover this for you, is going in and starting up a personal profile. And I'm going to cover the structure in a moment, but you do need to sign up to Facebook as an individual. Going to facebook.com, it's a very simple form to fill in with your first name, surname, your email. Select your own password, and you do need to supply them with your birthday. Now, it's completely up to you if that's the correct birthday, but make sure it's a birthday that you will remember. I know a lot of people get nervous about giving Facebook your birthday, and probably quite rightly, it is your primary identifier. So I made myself a couple of years younger. There's no harm in that, but it's a year that I can remember because it is used as a security function should you ever get locked out of your account or forget passwords and things like that as well. Now, you'll probably hear a couple of you saying, I don't want to sign up as me, I want to sign up as my business on Facebook, and we will cover that, but you do need to sign up for a personal account. You'll see on the front page here, it does have create a page for a celebrity brand or business. Now, I do not recommend that you do that. There is limited functionality if you do that, and is being phased out. Facebook really wants to have an individual behind even the business pages, and what you need to do is set this up as a personal profile. We're going to spend some time on that, and then you become the administrator of any business pages that you have on the network. Okay, so let's look at that structure that I've been talking about already. I just showed you how to sign up for a personal profile. And a personal profile is exactly that. It's you, the individual, as a member of Facebook. Now, everybody has a personal profile where they connect with friends. Now, they may be real friends and family, they may be acquaintances, they may be people you've met, but you need to request that they become your friend on the network, or you may have people requesting to be your friend, and you either accept or deny that request. You can have a maximum of 5,000 friends on your profile, and most importantly, guys, really, really important, you can only have one personal profile. So you can't set up a profile for you and then another one for your business, or think that I'll have one that I only use for family and friends and then set up a secondary profile for business or professional networking. It's against Facebook's rules and regulations to do that, and if they find the additional profiles, they will delete both of them. So if you have your business set up on a profile, and you will know that because people are requesting to be your friend, on the left-hand side, if you can see add a friend there or see friend requests, then that's a profile, and we really need to get you across to a business page. Now, as I said, your personal profile becomes the administrator of your business page, and people simply choose to like your page. So they don't need to request to be a friend of the page. They simply choose to like it or not, and they can unlike it at any time. Now, the minute they like it, they're giving you permission to put your posts from your page into their personal news feed, and we'll show you those in a moment. We're also going to look at groups today, but importantly, groups are of individual profiles or people, individual members, not businesses. And also events. Now, events can be set up from profiles or pages, and they're date delineated as well. So let's delve into each of those a little more. Okay, have some of you noticed, just by a show of hands, guys, pop your hands up if you've noticed that some of your friends on Facebook have different looking profiles at the moment. Have some of you got the profile up the top here that has 5 different photos around it, while others still have this one with this great big photo on it, like this one here called a cover photo? Some of you noticed that? Okay. The reason for that is this is the older style of profile. In fact, it's also an older style of page, and we're now looking at the new timeline. Okay, so this timeline on your personal profile, sound has gone. We've got a few issues there with sound. Just a moment, guys, we'll fix that for you. Okay. Is that better? Have we got you back again? I believe we had some difficulty with sound there. You just let me know if you can hear that again, okay? Yep, fantastic. Thank you all. That was just to make sure if you're listening so that when my voice stopped in your ears that you knew I wasn't coming through. Fantastic. So I'll just say over the previous version of the profile that some of you may still have has 5 photos across the top. You will all be forced into the new timeline. Now this new timeline has a great big cover photo across the top. It looks really, really professional. The big difference is that you now have a timeline over on the right-hand side and a timeline running down the middle of your page. So it makes past posts a whole lot more accessible than they were previously. There's a few people saying they like the timeline. I like the timeline now I'm in control of it. There was some outcry with the timeline initially, but people were really scared about their privacy level. So I'm going to show you right now how you can control that privacy level, how you control what's shown on your personal profile, because we're going to use the same skills over on your business page. But as business owners and professionals, it's vitally important that you get in control of your personal profile so that only the information you want presented to the Facebook world is shown. Even though we're going to keep that separate from your business page, I know now that 76% of employers are actually looking at individual persons' profiles on Facebook before they employ them. And in fact, there's just been a study released that shows that a person's use of their individual Facebook profile is a better indicator of their performance as an employee than many of the personality testings that are going on. And there's a whole industry being built around analysing people's personal use of social media in regards to their employment, and also for us as business people for looking at other businesses that we'd like to work with. So the decision then you need to make when you come into this is your default settings in terms of privacy come in 2 parts. The first thing you need to look at for you, the individual, is how much information are you giving to Facebook. So when you see underneath here on your timeline all this individual information, where you work, where you went to university, where you went to school, where you were born, it's completely up to you how much of that information you show by default. Were you aware of that? Just by a show of hands, you guys know that you could limit this information and you can actually show a different amount of information on your profile. Just pop your hand up for me. Did you know you can show a different amount of information on your profile dependent upon lists of people? Okay, so not many of you at all. I'm probably only seeing about 10, maybe 50, about 10% of you. Okay, maybe 15% know that you can change that default. So in the new timeline view, it's here under Update Info, right underneath the timeline. In the previous version, if you have the older version, it's in Edit Profile in the top right-hand corner of your screen. You just pop those hands down as we push ahead on this. So it's really important that you're going through and making sure that that information is not only correct, but the information that you want shown to the world. Now, who do you connect with then becomes vitally important. I will say here too, if you see this is my personal profile, the very first line I have social media trainer, speaker and strategist at social media shortcut, and it links through to my business page. So you can pop that in under employment in part of your data as well. Okay, so that will bring you to a page that looks like this one. And the biggest thing for me here is on the right-hand side of all of these, and it will look very similar if you have the old version as well, you have a little drop-down arrow. Look for the globes initially. Now the globe means that this information is being shown publicly. It used to say friends of friends, but now it says to the public, which means it's actually visible to people who are not even members of Facebook. It's really important that you understand that. Visible to friends means exactly that. Anyone that you have accepted as a friend on Facebook. You could limit it to only yourself, and there's some things like my birthday that I used to limit only to myself, my political and religious views, and whether or not I'm in a relationship with something I used to limit only to myself. I don't think the world needs to know that. But the really powerful button is this one here, the one that says custom. Okay, the one that says custom. Let's pop back to there. Because if you click custom, Not only can you limit who sees this to individual friends, but you can limit it to lists of friends. I'm going to show you how to set up lists. Lists are the most powerful part of your Facebook profile, and a lot of people don't realize that the lists are available. So let's look first at how you connect with friends and then how you place them into a list and why you would want to do that. Okay. The reason for me personally, I am my brand. People get to know me very well at social media trainings, on stage, and a lot of people come to my personal profile and request to be my friend. Now initially I sat down and went, oh, it's so wonderful, all these people want to be my friend, and I accepted them, and then I realized I had a lot of people on my friends list that I really didn't know who they were. As well as being, freaking me out a little bit, I also couldn't target my messages to those people, and there was a lot of clutter. So what I do now is if you request to be my friend, one, you need to send me a message. Not only do you request to be a friend, but you need to send me a message telling me why you're requesting to be my friend. If I don't recognize you immediately by face, I have two email messages. I just have them in a text document, and I encourage each and every one of you to do the same thing here. Have two messages. One, if a person's face sort of looks familiar, or I click on their profile, on their name, I go and have a look, and maybe they live in a similar area, they've got similar friends to me, then I'll send a message back to them through Facebook. I hit the message button and say, thanks for connecting. Can you remind me again how we know each other? Have we met? And I'll leave it at that. And if we have met, they'll tell me. My cousin told me that and went, duh, I'm your cousin. And obviously they've changed a lot since I'd seen them last time, and I promptly accepted them. The second message that I have, if I look at the profile and think it's very definitely a business person, or they come back from that message and say, we met at this training, then I have a second message that says, thanks for connecting. You'll find all about my business. Well, actually it says you'll find all about my free social media trainings over on my business page. And I simply give them a link to my business page. I'm going to show you how to set up a nice, easy link for your business page in a moment. I haven't said to them, I'm not accepting you as a friend. I'm simply saying the right place for business interaction is over on my business page, not on my personal profile. So for some of you, you really need to sit down and think, how open am I going to be with my profile? Am I my brand? Do I want to connect on my personal profile? The plus, I guess, to doing that is you can have individual conversations on your personal profile. The huge amount of negative is that much of the information, through privacy reasons, that you use on your profile is not visible to the search engines. So you may have people saying wonderful things about you and giving you great testimonials, and if that's all on your personal profile, then it's not visible to the search engines, and you need their permission to go across and post it onto your page, which is really where you want them to be able to do it in the first place. Okay, so if you're in the middle there and you think, well, I've got people who are my close family and friends and my real buddies, but I've also got people I connected with. They could potentially be business clients. They could potentially be joint ventures. How would you like it if you could put them into segments and put them into lists so you could deal with each of those level of friends differently? Does that appeal to anyone? And is anybody already using the list feature? If you could just pop your hands up, tell me if I should spend some time on lists and explain this to you. Okay, there's hands going up everywhere. Hands going up everywhere. Fantastic. Pop in the text there. It appeals. I like it. Okay, who's using lists at the moment? Just pop yes into the question box there. Yes, I use it. I like it. Not using it, but I'd like to. Appeals. Okay, so we've got a bit of a mixed bag there. The huge benefit for lists is it's super easy to do. Okay, you simply go into your home button, the little down arrow, you'll see lists on the left-hand side. So if you hit home and then lists, if you hover over the right-hand corner, just over here, you'll see more. Simply click on that and it will bring up this page. The top right-hand corner, there's create a list. Now, whether you know it or not, Facebook has actually started setting up lists for you already. They will have a list of close friends, and they will have a list of family, and you'll probably have a list for your geographic region. You'll see I have some for Maroochydore area, the school I went to. So any of that demographic data that I gave Facebook, not only when I signed up, but through my use of the site, who I'm connecting with, then they will be popping that into auto-generated lists. I encourage you to actually create a lot more lists. So I have lists for my course and for my clients. I have lists that were potentially on DD trainings like this one, so I know that I'm giving you appropriate messages. And more importantly for me, when I come into here, I can simply click on the list name, and instead of seeing a feed of information in my news feed from my, say, 4,000 friends, I see it just from people in that list. Even better, I can customize my messages to be posted just to members of that list. Now, a word of warning here. You do need to consider the destiny of your data in terms of if you're posting to your close friends, and I'm one of those people, that post may go onto my wall. And my privacy settings are quite liberal. They're quite open in my branding, and I have some 3,500 friends. So there's potential for my friends to see that information. So I say to everybody, if you wouldn't want your grandmother, boss, future boss, or perfect business client to be reading that post, then don't post it on Facebook. There's been some really high-profile cases recently where people were dismissed from jobs over content that was on their personal profile, posted in personal time, but still, if there were threats that were made in the context of the medium, when you sign up to Facebook, you actually say two things. One, that you own the copyright for anything you post on the site, and two, that you give freedom of information to that information that you're posting on the site. So you don't lose the copyright. Basically, Facebook could use it any way they see fit, and very definitely a way they see fit is to give that to the legal agencies in your country. So police are now using this as a legitimate channel for posting information to sending warrants, and also they can be used in a court of law. So be careful about what you are posting, even in your personal profile and even to a list of your closest friends. What you also need to be aware of is the default privacy in terms of all of this, because you have two parts to your privacy on Facebook. Now, if you define privacy, the old version, it's in account. For those in the new timeline version, simply go to the little down arrow and then down to privacy settings. And this is a huge takeaway for all of you. After the webinar today, I know we're talking about business, but I want you to get your personal profile privacy set up exactly the way you want it. So you know what is being shown to other members of Facebook and to the world, basically. Okay, so go into privacy settings. You'll be presented with a screen that shows you privacy when you post and then privacy by default. By all means, for those guys that are searching along now, if you go down to privacy by default, down the bottom there's a series of things here, how you connect, how tags work, and I encourage you to go into each and every one of these. Who can look up your profile by name or contact information? It's a little down arrow again, and you have the same options of making this. It can be made public. You can also be making that to your friends, and you can also customize the privacy. Who knew they could do that? They could actually customize what's shown to individual people and individual lists of people. Just by a show of hands for me. Again, not that many of you, so this is great information for the rest of you. For those that know this, I encourage you to go back through, and I do it once every couple of weeks because I'm in social media, but about once a month, go back and reassess, are these settings appropriate for your current use of Facebook and for your business purposes? Thanks for that, guys. And I particularly encourage you, as you swap over to the new timeline, that you go down to this one here, so down arrow, privacy settings, right down the bottom here, and the one that says limit the audience for past post. If you click on that one and manage past post visibility, the reason for this is with timeline coming up and onto your page, it's made past post much more visible. I've got a school reunion coming up and suddenly all these past posts and horrible photos are appearing on my timeline of when I was 17. Now, the thing with those past posts is anything that was posted previous to your timeline will now appear on your timeline with the privacy settings as they were for your personal profile when it was posted. So for some of you who are telling me you've been on Facebook 2, 3, 5, 7 years, that's going back a little too far, isn't it? Then what you'll find is you may have very different privacy levels back those 2 or 3 years ago. And at the moment, those posts are going up as they were. So if you limit the audience for past posts, by turning this on, what you do is you say, I want all of my past posts to be treated with the same privacy levels as I have set right now on my profile. So every time you come in and change your privacy settings, change the data in your account, make sure that you're limiting the audience for your past posts. And at the top of everybody's profile, you can see View Profile and see how others are actually seeing your profile to make sure that only the information you want shown is being shown not only to friends or non-friends, but to the different lists of friends as well. Okay, also I encourage you to go through your account settings. Now a lot of people don't even know this screen exists, but it's important that you go in here and find not only your individual username, any linked accounts to it, but I'm going to draw your attention to one down the bottom here, which is download a copy of your Facebook data. You may have some really valuable contacts on your personal profile, and who has actually ever gone in and backed up or downloaded a copy of their Facebook data? Just pop your hands up for me. Anybody ever done it? We got any? Doesn't look like we've got any. Okay, we've got one. Okay. Kerry, congratulations. I've got a few more popping up, a couple more, Chris, but not many at all. Fantastic. So what you can do is come in here and download a copy of your Facebook data, or you can also use a site called Backupify. So it's backupify.com. The link's down the bottom of the screen here for you. Backupify.com will actually back up your social media accounts. So we're looking at Twitter and Gmail and Google accounts and lots of things you can back up. It's free for a couple of the accounts. If you want to do more of the accounts and store a greater amount of data, it's a paid service, but I encourage you to investigate that one. At the very least, who thinks it would be a good action point to go away after the call today, we're doing it now, and download a copy of your Facebook data. So you've got all that valuable, those wonderful photos and everything else that's there, lots of hands going up, fantastic. So there's a takeaway from the training from your personal point of view, because you may well have a lot of business contacts that started on your personal profile, but they've now moved across to your business page, and emails and contacts and meetings that you've set up on the site as well. So once you have your personal profile exactly the way you do it, then you should start networking on the site. Adding friends, again with those two messages and being selective about your friends, popping them into lists, and then proactively starting and or joining groups. Now as I said before, groups are groups of individual profiles, but they're people around a similar niche. It's got a closer community feel, and I encourage each and every one of you to join the Queensland Business Group. Search for it up here in the search bar on Twitter. It's got a nice bar across the top. Now groups can be open, closed or secret. An open group means it's there and anybody can join. You can see who's in it and how they're transacting. A closed group means you can see the group there, you can see who's in it, but you cannot join the group unless you've been approved to join the group. And then secret group is exactly that. You don't even know the group is there. You can't see who's in it unless you've been sent an invitation to join the group. So I use a secret group for mastermind teams, for my paid membership teams, and around events and things where I want people to be discussing, but they've actually paid some money to be in that, so I want to keep it a little more secretive and selective. Queensland Business is a closed group, so it means you can see it's there, you can see the members. They've got well over 800 members now, but you do need to request to join. So you can either go to the group and request to join. And we can have up to 5,000 members in any group. You can direct message the members of the group, but I encourage you not to spam any of the groups that you're in. And when you do receive permission to join the group, when you've been approved to the group, go over and read the documents on membership that started here and the note beside the file to know what's appropriate to post in that group and what's not. I can tell you this individual group is not about spamming your business, but it's a fantastic group for networking and getting support and referrals. For those of you on the Sunshine Coast, there's a Sunshine Coast business group as well. So go doing some searching for groups in your local area and groups in your industry that may be able to support you in growing your business, but as the individual within your business. By a show of hands, can I see who's already a member of the Queensland Business Group? Have we got many of you on the webinar today? Okay, so that one's new for you. I really encourage you to do that. If you're already friends with me, then I can send you a request, but the easiest one is request to the group. Okay, so out of all of you, we've got 2. This is great. I expect to see a big spike in Queensland business, the business group as well. I'll let the organisers know to expect that, because obviously you're all professionals looking to grow your business on Facebook, and I really encourage you to maximise the power of this group and other similar ones for your industry as well. And if there's not a group there already, then start creating a group. They're very easy to commence, but maybe spend some time in the Queensland Business Group and get the feel for how a really great group is run first before you set up your own. Okay, so let's move on to business pages. I imagine this is what most of you are here for. How do I actually get my business presence set up on Facebook? Can you just give me a show of hands, first of all, who already has a Facebook page? On the forms, and you'll know it's a page because people get to like the page rather than request to be friends. Okay, so there's a lot of you with a page. I'd probably say half of you already have a page. So we'll spend a little bit of time in setting this up, and I am going to spend some time looking at the brand new pages that have only come out this week and the brand new format for pages. Okay, that's really valuable for me. Thank you. Thank you all for sharing. So for those of you that do not yet have a page, and for those of you that have a page set up but you're not quite sure of the structure, let's go through each of these as well. So it's vital information in terms of branding your page, and this is where you do get to be a little more promotional in your business. The massive, massive value to pages is that we're able to add a lot of applications or apps to the page. Pages are completely searchable by the search engines, and in fact, despite their competition between Google and Facebook, Facebook pages and the activity within them ranks very, very well on Google at the moment. So you really need to be there, but you need to maximize your presence to make sure you're maximizing that search engine exposure that a lot of you, right at the very beginning, told me was one of your primary objectives with using Facebook. For those of you that do not yet have a page, it's actually very simple to get started. Go back to you. What I'm going to show you, though, to avoid a little bit of confusion when you start here, is this is now what the new pages look like. So just like on profiles, pages now have a timeline as well. The vast majority of you with existing pages are on the standard page with the 5 photos across the top that I just showed you. So let me show you the difference there again. So this one is the old version of the Facebook pages with the 5 photos across the top. You may have a fancy welcome tab on those. And this one is the new version or timeline, which has a great big cover photo at the top of it. Now, there are strict rules and regulations around the timeline and how much promotion you can do on it. You can't have a call to action. You can't be asking people to like your page. You can't be putting any addresses or phone numbers or website links in there at all, because all of that information should go in this About section that's here. And I'm going to show you where to put that in a moment. Now, we have put a post that I put up on my blog with all of the regulations and the stipulations around this, the sizes for your graphics and everything else. It's at the top of our Facebook page, which is facebook.com/The Creative Collective, and I'll just pop that address in chat for you. So you can link through and have a look at that. It's from my social media shortcut page if you want to know the specs and regulations and you're ready to set up your timeline. Your timeline will be mandatory for everyone from the 31st of March, so the end of the month is coming in. So I'm saying to people, if you're just getting started with Facebook now, then I recommend you set up thinking of the new format rather than set up something that's going to be outdated by the end of the month and you're going to need to change. Okay, so how do you get started? It's really simple. Go to facebook.com/page, and that's in the address bar. Or you can type, don't type page into the search, actually put facebook.com/page in the address bar at the very top of your browser. You'll get a screen like this one. Now, for the vast majority of you, I recommend that you go in one of these 3 categories at the top. Unless you are an artist, band, or public figure, and even public figure, I would prefer that you came up here under brand or product. The differences between these classifications changes the information that you can put in, changes the fields that are available to you on your Facebook page. And in the new timeline format, it actually changes what goes in that About section that I just showed you, which is sandwiched between your cover photo and your profile banner. And it's a vital part of real estate. So it's really powerful. Now, if you're a local business or place, I absolutely encourage you to go local business or place. If you're trying to get people through a doorway at a specified address, you want the local business or place because you want to be able to claim your place. You want people to be able to check in when they're at your premises. And they want to see certain things like operating hours when you're open and closed, for instance. That becomes vital. If, however, you're run predominantly from a website or your business is global or you don't have set business hours or business premises and you don't actually want people walking through the door, maybe you're a consultancy service like I am, then you're more likely to be over here under brand or product. But if you're a large company, organisation or institution, then I'd be picking the one in the middle. And this limits the fields, but it also allows you to position yourself a little bit differently. So you can flick through all of these, try out the different classifications, and you can keep changing your classification. So perhaps if you've set up as a local business or place, but really you're a website, go under brand or product and look for website and look for the appropriate classification, and you'll see that the information in the about part of your page changes. Okay, and I'm very happy to take questions on that at the end. If you're not sure about your classification, by all means we'll be bringing those out for you as well. I'll answer your individual questions at the end of the webinar. Okay, previously a lot of you would have had welcome tabs. So when you first came to your page, you had these beautiful, bright, custom graphics. They asked people to like your page in order to receive some information. Then once they'd liked the page, they went back to your wall and saw all the posts that you're doing in subsequent visits. These are great because you could really walk people through your marketing funnel and encourage them to do two things, which is like the page, but then take a step into your marketing funnel. So maybe download an ebook, sign up for your newsletter, get a free coupon or discount or something like that, and allow them. It was much easier to move people to your website, into your marketing funnel. Now, if you have these welcome tabs already, they are still on your page and will operate on timeline. What we're finding is any of you that had what's called a fan gate, now I don't want to get too technical for the newer people on the line, but it simply meant if your page showed one image until people liked it and that then refreshed to a different image, we're finding that fan gate, the like option, is not working very well in the timeline format at all. The other thing is we can no longer set a default page on Facebook. So the timeline has become the default for absolutely everybody. So if you're back here on the new page, you'll see that this page is going to be the default. Now the welcome tab and all of your apps now sit down here underneath your welcome, your cover photo. So they're still there, but people need to take an extra step to click on them. So it's valuable to have people still opting in for your email list, but you need to make sure that not only is the app highlighted here, but you have a really compelling graphic on that app so that people do take that extra step and click on it for you. So for those of you just starting out, or for those of you that are moving into the new timeline version, I recommend that you don't race into this. Okay, don't just be putting up a page to be a fast mover and to be there with the latest, greatest. Unless maybe you're in social media and you need to be seen as a fast mover. But even for me, I believe it's much more important that you have a very professional image on your Facebook page. So if you have a great welcome tab, your Facebook page looks fantastic, don't go and just throw up any graphic on your cover page, okay? Spend some time getting this cover photo exactly the way you want it. Maximize the profile photo over here now because it's a different size to what we had previously. And absolutely make sure you're not only featuring the applications that you want people to act on the most here, but that they have a compelling graphic and reason for people to click on them. Now the important thing here with Facebook page, regardless of the format, is that when a person comes to your page, however they're finding your page, through your marketing, through search, your page should answer three things. And I suggest you write these down, guys, and take them. This is Zoe's little gospel on Facebook pages. And the first thing is, from your ideal client's point of view, why am I here? So what's your page all about? What's in it for me? So why should I even care? What's so unique about this page that I want to stay here and like it? And most importantly, what do you want me to do next? So why am I here? What's in it for me? And what do you want me to do next? That call to action that tells people, go and read the ebook, go and download the ebook, opt into our newsletter list, get updates, get specials, get coupons. But remember, in the new format, none of that information can be in the cover photo. We need to do the work in the profile photo, the application images, and then in providing really great content on your wall. So to get people to that content then, we need to make it super simple for them. I mentioned before when accepting friends that I like to have a portion there where you can say, thank you for connecting. All of my business is carried on over at my page here. Now, who already has a personalized Facebook URL or website address for their page? So this is facebook.com/your page name or whatever you've called it. If you just pop your hands up, anybody that has that already? Not many at all. Okay, so here is a golden takeaway for you. To this call, what I'd like you to do is go to facebook.com/username and choose something short and easy for your page. Now be a little bit careful. When you go to facebook.com/username, the one up at the top will be set a username for your personal profile. The one you want is below that where it says pages. Choose your page and it will ask you to set a name. There can be no spaces in this. You can use dots and dashes, but I don't encourage them. And really think about where you're going to use this URL. In most cases, you'll be putting it on to media that's marketing material that's not on the internet, where people aren't clicking. So think about how will it look on my business card? How will it look on my flyers, on my banners and things like that? And think about this carefully before you set it, because once it's set, it cannot be changed. Now, previously you needed 25 people to like your page before you could set this. For some older pages, you will still have, it will say you're not eligible for a URL. It means you need 25 likes. And it's another great reason to connect with the Queensland Business Group on Facebook, because we can assist you in getting those likes as need be. The other thing too is that once you're in as an admin of your page, remember you set it up that way, I encourage you to have more than one admin on your page, because if something should happen to your personal profile, perhaps through no fault of your own, so you get spammed or your password's hacked, then it's important that you have a secondary admin who can assist you with that. The way to do that is simply pop over here into admins, see all, and you can add an additional admin. They do need to like the page first, and they'll either need to be your friend on Facebook or you'll need to add them with the email address that they use on Facebook. Any admins then can be posting on the page and using Facebook as the page. And this becomes highly, highly valuable when you start promoting your page, because not only can you post on your page, and I'll use the example here as The Creative Collective, but I can be popping across using Facebook as the page and putting posts on other people's pages. So I can go across to Dee Dee's page and thanking them for the opportunity to work with the business owners and spreading the message about these webinars that we have. The way that I do that, I can post on their page, I can post on my page with the @ symbol in front and then their business page name. It's called tagging the page, and it's a highly, highly valuable way of networking with other businesses on Facebook. So the crucial thing there, set up your personal profile correctly, get everything seen the way you want it, then set up your business page professionally, well branded, provide good quality, and as an admin, use the Facebook as your page and selectively network with other pages. And by promoting things that assist other communities on Facebook pages too, just don't get spammy about it. If you put a spammy post up, the page owner is simply going to remove the post to start with and probably block you from ever working with the page at all. Okay, in terms of promoting the page, there's lots of ways. Put links to your Facebook page everywhere. Icons in prominent locations. Can you convert the old format to the new timeline? Yes, you most certainly can. When you log into your page as the admin, you'll see at the top there's a timeline. It tells you about timeline, and you have the option to preview it. I strongly encourage you to preview it. Go through the tour. Facebook steps you through all of the changes, shows you how to maximize those, and then at the end of the tour you have the option of whether you want to publish the page as the new timeline, or if you want to keep the old format for now until you've got some of that graphic and marketing collateral ready, until you're really happy with your cover photo, etc. Yes, the PowerPoint content guide will be available for this webinar within the next couple of weeks, along with a complete recording of this webinar and all the webinars that we're presenting as well. I'll give you the link to those at the end. So if I'm glancing over something here, you'd like the links, yes, we'll definitely have the PowerPoints and the recording of the webinar for you. Okay, so in terms of promoting your page, into your normal marketing, put links to your Facebook page everywhere, suggesting it to friends, in your email signature. Are there any things here that you can see, that ways that you could promote your page? Any other favorites? Pop it into the chat there for me in terms of favorite ways of promoting the page. Anything you're doing now or something you see on the page there that you think you could use? Business cards is a big one. You'll see in television ads and radio ads. Be careful. I see a lot of people just say, find us on Facebook. Now, the search on Facebook isn't that great unless your page name is abundantly obvious and clear to people. So I would much rather you had a little Facebook F and then just the portion from the / that you used in your URL. So for us, we don't have to put facebook.com/The Creative Collective. What we do is we simply put the little Facebook F on our business cards / The Creative Collective. It makes it super easy for people to find us. We link across all our Twitter accounts, and we have a feed as well from our Facebook page onto our main website page. So every time we post on our Facebook page, a little copy of it is embedded on our homepage. Have a look at thecreativecollective.com.au. You'll see that in motion. That is in your editing page. It's a more advanced way of connecting the pages, but it's certainly, again, it's in your edit page function for admins to do that. Okay, I've been asked a question about what about the old types of apps that used FBML. FBML is being phased out. It's all being worked in iframes now, but a lot of the FBML apps have converted over. So I would be checking those to make sure they are still operating for you. I know with some of our older pages, I've noticed that the functionality is not working in the new apps. So make sure you are checking that. And I encourage you guys to be testing your own page. Sign out of Facebook so it's not you as the admin, and go in as any user would be to make sure that all your functionality is working. Fantastic, Fred. No worries at all. Okay, Waterwise Design. Fantastic. I see some of you have been early adopters of the timeline and some are hesitating to do that. And so make sure you're really comfortable with your cover image and spend a little time and research. There's some great articles out there, whether you're searching for us. Google the new timeline for pages and you'll get all of the information you need on converting them, and go through the tour on Facebook as well. Okay, the last one here is events. In terms of anything that's date delimited, you can use for events. So it doesn't have to be just an event. An event could be set up by a personal profile, think a family party or something like that, or it could be done through a business page. Now, if you have a business intent to the event, make sure you're setting it up from your business page. You simply log in and click My Events in the navigation bar and create event, but make sure you're using as page before you do that if it's a business event. Also too, be proactive in using these events yourself. So now you're asked whether you're joining or not joining. You'll see we have an event here for a social media webinar for all the webinars that are up and running. So whether you're joining us or not joining us, if you click that and then write on the wall, it's a great networking resource. Even if you're saying, fantastic opportunity, unfortunately I can't make it then, or I'll join for the recording, because it's another way of getting your personal profile up in front of people if that's appropriate for you. You can also use events for product launches, anything that's date delimited as well. It doesn't have to be just an event. But if it has a business intent, make sure it's the business page that you're setting that up from, not from your personal profile. I'm also going to touch briefly on Facebook PPC, or pay-per-click advertising. Now this simply means that every time you place an ad on Facebook, most of you will have seen these down the right-hand side, and that you only pay for the ad every time somebody clicks on the ad. These are super powerful. Just by a show of hands, can I see anybody there that's already using pay-per-click advertising on Facebook? So Facebook pay-per-click? A couple, and literally only a couple. Okay, these are super powerful, but they do involve a budget. So unlike maybe Google pay-per-click that you might be used to, where you target the search terms that people are searching on, in Facebook you actually target the demographics of the individual that's using Facebook. So rather than me targeting someone who's searching for social media marketing training, I target the demographics of my ideal clientele. So it may be males or females, small business owners, professional sales representatives, that have small or grown-up children, that live in the southeast corner of Queensland, you know, et cetera, et cetera. So I actually target the individual that may well be interested in my marketing message. You need to know your target clientele very well. You need to get in their headspace and know their pain and know what you're, know who you're marketing to and why they respond to your product with a very strong call to action. But I can tell you, along with Timeline last week, there's been a whole suite of new premium Facebook PPC ads launched. So now not only can you advertise on the right-hand side of the page, which, you know, a lot of us sort of paid no attention to, but you can pay to have that same ad placed in your Leica's news feeds. You can actually pay to have your posts from your page shown in the newsfeed and shown and guaranteed a certain level of exposure in the newsfeed. You can now advertise on the log out screen, and very importantly, your ads can now appear in the newsfeeds in the normal post stream on mobile devices, because previously mobile devices didn't have the right hand side. So now, because we can advertise, and you can actually post on your page, get people liking that and commenting, and use that page post as the text of your ad and pop it in the news feed. I see this as being massively valuable. It's a more advanced topic in terms of Facebook pay-per-click. I run a whole day training on Facebook pay-per-click. So, but do some investigations there. If you've got a budget, I'd encourage you to start small and tweak and test it, but you can get incredible results if you already identify the demographics of your target audience very, very well. Okay, so we've got lots of questions coming through, which is fantastic. I'll answer some of them as we go, and some we're getting into our question time now as well. Let's just recap. Establishing your Facebook personal profile, setting up your Facebook page professionally with a mind to those new regulations coming with Timeline. A big takeaway here, I'd really love to see each and every one of you that already has a page, or after you set up a page, to establish your vanity URL on Facebook. So your facebook.com / whatever your page name is. Set it up carefully and then use it massively. It's a golden tool in your marketing. All of this is only used to you if you then start delivering some quality posts. Start posting about what your target audience wants to hear. And I will tell you, one of the biggest questions I get from people is how often to post. Generally, I look at posting one quality post a day and then having commenting going on underneath that. Your industry may be slightly different, but if you go less than once every other day, you'll find that your audience disconnects from you. They see you so rarely that they may not even see your post in their newsfeed, and they don't get to know, like, and trust you. So if you do more than one post per day for most industries, you'll find it becomes very spammy. And somebody asked me before, what is spammy? I think as marketers and business owners, we know when we're overdoing the sales message, and it turns people off massively on Facebook if you're overdoing that sales message. In your URL, I just had a question there, in that URL, would you use your personal name? Only if your brand is your personal name. If you are your brand, then by all means, if that's what people are searching on, and you only ever want your name to be your brand, you're not looking at selling the business anytime soon, then by all means. You know, I have people that have set up pages where they are their brand. Rachel Birmingham's one that pops straight into my head up here, best known for the 4 Ingredients cookbooks previously. She's now going into book publishing, and Rachel is very much, she's a public speaker and a public brand. So Rachel Birmingham has a page, it's Rachel Birmingham, it's facebook.com / Rachel Birmingham, exactly. So there's an example of you. However you brand your business is how I would be branding that URL. Okay, make sure you're adding your Facebook page links and exploring all of those events and advertising and doing some extra research in there. If you've got more questions, of course, you can post them on the Facebook page as well. I will take some more questions from those on the line. If you've got a microphone there, I'd be very happy to take your question on audio as well. I'm going to go through the questions that are in the chat box, and by all means keep putting those in. If you've got audio there, could you pop your hand up for me, and I'll bring you out on audio so we can take those questions live for you. Sometimes it's much easier to explain the question rather than trying to type it in. Okay, Fred, if you've got a question there, I'll just unmute you. Can you hear me, Fred? Are you there, Fred? Can you hear me? I see you've got a question there. That one was answered before. Okay, fantastic. Gary Wolsey, if you've got a question there, Gary, I'd love to bring you out on the line. Can you hear me? Are you there, Gary? You may have popped that one in the chat for me. Okay, I'm just going to pop all the hands down again. We seem to have some older ones there. So if you do have a question, you've got audio and you want to ask me your question, can you pop your hand back up again for me? Arch Armstrong, I just saw your hand pop up there. Do you have a question for me, Arch?
Yes, I do. Can you tell me how I can post to all my friends with one click as such, in other words, at the same time?
All of your friends. Okay, fantastic question, Arch. So back, you're talking about your personal profile in terms of posting a message to all of your friends?
Either personal or business page. But as I say, what I want to do is simply put one question, hit a button, and have it appear on all those individual sites or friends' sites.
Okay, fantastic. So where you've got, before when I was talking about setting up friends list, everybody that's in your friends, even if you segment them into lists, they're still in your overall friends list, if you like. So when you go to your individual wall, so your home feed up the top, it has a little box where you can post. If you click on it, it will open up. And just make sure that when you're posting there, that down right beside where it says post, there's a big blue button that comes up, that it actually still says friends, not an individual list. Does that make sense? So have you done a post at all on Facebook previously, Arch?
Yes, I have, but I haven't done it, well, I've tried to do it to everyone, but of course it didn't work.
Yeah, so make sure right beside where it says to actually post, the blue button, just to the left of that, it's probably got family or close friends or something beside that. So what you need to be doing is hitting a little down arrow and making sure that's going public is what you want, to all your friends. You know, it actually says public so that everybody's getting that regardless of what list they're in. When you post over on your timeline, over on your page, by default it goes to everybody that has previously liked the page. So if you do the combination of those two things, you should be getting everybody. And just a quick tip on that one too, if you've posted from your computer, maybe at home or your laptop, whatever that setting is that you last used, so who you were posting to, so if you see the little blue button there, just look to the left of it, whatever you've used on your computer last time will be the default if you're posting from your mobile phone or from any mobile devices. So I have some people say to me, only a couple of people see my posts from my mobile device. It's probably because last time you posted from your desktop, you limited that post. You may not have realised that. So go and see if you can find that button for me and come back if you can't find that one there, Arch.
Thank you.
Fantastic, thank you. Someone else there with a question, pop their hands up for me. We've got lots in the question box. We'll spend a little more time going through those as well. John, I've got your hand up there. I've got your audio off. Can you hear me, John? Have you got a question? Yeah, we've only got one, John. Now, John Balczaki, I think it is, if I said that correctly. Are you there, John? You got a question for me? No, we haven't got John there. So the workshop download from the smallbusinesswebinars.com.au for the Facebook webinar seems to be the same as the download for the first webinar, Harnessing the Power of Social Media. Okay, we'll get that checked for you. Definitely, pardon? Webinar download, it's the same, Jag. I'm checking with that. So we're going to fix that up and get the Facebook one up. Oh, okay. So at the moment, the download there is for the Harnessing the Power of Social Media. So that's the one that was the introductory to social media. So the Facebook post is going up. We actually did this webinar last week and we were oversubscribed, so we're doing it again. So that will be coming up in the coming weeks along with the overheads as well. Okay, on the new profile, where do you find the pages you have liked? Debbie, it's directly below your cover photo. And actually says likes, but it's on your personal profile. It's the pages you've liked. For most people, it's on the far right-hand side if you click on that. On your timeline for your business page, it's in amongst, you actually have to go into the admin panel to find that in the apps. Do you feel it's better to use a generic name or your business name for your Facebook page URL? Gary, again, that's very much what's how you're promoting your business. If it's a business page, you have a business intent, use your business name and have people searching for your business name. So that one is however you're marketing generally. And I normally say to most people, it's what's on your business name on your card is generally the same as your email address as your website address and get as close as possible facebook.com to that same address. Keep your branding consistent across all your social media if it's available. Of course, it's a unique one, so only if it's available. If I belong to an organisation and want to set up a Facebook page, can I do so with timeline, etc., but without setting up a personal Facebook page first? So you're asking, can you set up a business page without having a personal profile first, Menik? Is that what you're saying? Now, I strongly recommend that you have a personal profile, that you simply become an administrator on the business page that you set up for the organisation, and you never need to link the two if you don't want to. You don't need to tell the world. When I set up pages for clients, I always use my own personal profile. I become an administrator on the page, and then they can, take me off as an administrator at the end of the project if they choose to do so. That way you're never working in anybody else's profiles. Also very important for businesses too, when you think about the continuity of your business, are you likely to sell your business? Or if you've got perhaps an admin assistant in the office who is doing all of the Facebook posting, you don't want to be giving the CEO's Facebook personal profile details to anybody else in the office. Because, if they make a mistake, what could be appearing on your personal profile? And then when they leave the organisation, what happens with those details? So don't be setting it up as just a business profile. Make them use their individual personal profile. Go through the training that you got today on how to make sure your privacy is set up correctly on that. And then if that person leaves your organisation, all you simply need to do is remove them as an admin of the page and add the new person that's coming in for their personal profile. Okay, this is from Gavin, I run a financial planning business and have clients that want to be my friend in Facebook. Should I accept them as friends or redirect them to my business page? Yeah, that one becomes a decision for you, Gavin. How close do you really want to get to your clients, and how far do you want them to come into your personal Facebook profile? This is your social media strategy and policy for your organisation. I suggest you really sit and think about it. In a lot of cases, it may well be against rules and regulations of your industry for you to friend clients on social media profiles generally. For me, the biggest downside to just using the page was that you couldn't have personal interactions and messages on Facebook. A brand new feature last week is that you can now, people or profiles can message business pages. So for that reason, I'm encouraging businesses more and more to not just friend every client that comes in or potential client. Instead, send them over to your Facebook page and connect, and you really need to be encouraging them to share. They can still send you a personal message over on the page now as well, which is really valuable. We've done the can you set up a business site without a personal site? I would say personal profile, become an admin of the business page, and then you have complete control and functionality of the page. What if the page name set is not that great? You can't change it, but should you delete the page and start again? Trish, that's great. So a great question. The page title, so the actual name at the top of your page, could be different to that unique URL that I told you to set. But the URL can never be changed once you set it. The page title can be changed up until 100 people like the page, okay? So once that's happened, you're right, you can't change it. You've got two options. It's basically run with the one you have and get a URL and promote it really well, or delete the page, start a brand new page with the name that you do want at the top. But bearing in mind, if you already had the URL that you wanted, it goes with the old page. The only way you could possibly have that released is if there's a copyright infringement involved there, and you would have to send a message to Facebook, just search on copyright or trademark infringement to have that released and taken across to the new page. Of course, then you also lose any of the likes that were on that previous page as well. So a lot of people, are hesitant to do so. I'm just going through the final questions. Anyone more, if you want to pop your hand up, if it's easier for you to ask me the question rather than me reading these out. Have you looked at Google Plus, and is it worth considering versus Facebook? I would be adding Google Plus to your marketing mix. At the very least, you need to be securing your business name there, mainly because of preferential treatment that's being given to Google Plus pages in the search engines. We've got lots of questions here on the webinar and the download. I'll be encouraging you to get those as well. Most of them have been answered by the ones that I've already gone over. Fantastic. Thank you for all of these questions. On the new profile, where you find the pages you have. Okay, so on your new timeline profile, if you go to the home page, home up the top right-hand corner, it takes you to your newsfeed, and you'll see down the left-hand side, you may have to scroll down a way to pages. If you see more, you'll see all of the pages there. Okay, I have a personal profile which I created for business. It's used by whoever is the marketing manager. Danny, that one's kind of dangerous ground. As long as that profile is not, it doesn't make friends, it doesn't have any other use, by the letter of the law, it's against Facebook terms, rules and regulations to do that. But if that's an admin person sitting in the office who doesn't have any other profiles, and be really careful, just adding photos to that can cause problems, because Facebook now does have photo recognition technology, and they're always checking to see if the owner of the profile, they're asking their friends and people they've connected with, is this them? And if they do find duplicate profiles for the same person, they'll shut them down. So you're going to use that strategy. Make sure that person is really quite alienated on Facebook, if you like. They don't have any similar friends. They're not posting about the business on their profile at all. They're just there for admin purposes. I made a business page and it appeared on the left of my personal Facebook page. Is that correct? Yes, it is. If you've linked it up that way, it's under all the lists and pages. It's exactly where you need to click on that to go across and admin your page. Philip, that's right. Okay, and how can you, can I please explain the last one here, how to redirect your friend request to your business page? As I said, you do respond. So rather than just ignoring, I actually send a message. So a message up in the top right-hand corner. When you go to you get a friend request, click on their name and go and have a look at their profile. Decide whether or not you want to be a friend. Over in the right-hand corner, you'll see, and then the message I spoke about before. Thank you for connecting. You'll find all about my business over on our page here. Give them the unique URL, so facebook.com/my page name. I look forward to seeing you there. Pop the like button so you stay informed, whatever it is, and then I ignore the friend request. I don't actually say I'm not adding you as a friend. Can we protect the private or personal information of vulnerable clients? We are a not-for-profit organisation who serve the disadvantaged. You need to be very careful about who you allow to post on your wall, because you'll be amazed, Monique, how much people do share on the wall. You can certainly do that by going into your admin panel under Manage and Edit Page, and you'll see there's a whole selection of what sort of posts that you allow on your business page and data that can be viewed. It's only the admins of the page who can see who liked the page unless they're already a friend on Facebook, and Facebook is showing now what your friends are doing on business pages. Okay. There's a link here to request a name change. If you can pop that, Larissa, if you want to pop that up on our Facebook page as a resource for everybody, I'll check that one out myself as well. Is that there is one there to link through, but it's got to be done normally as a copyright infringement as well. It's changing slightly with the new timeline coming out, to be aware of that one. But thank you for sharing that and for sharing the resource with everybody. Okay, so we do have a whole series of these webinars coming up. That one there, you'll notice that LinkedIn was actually yesterday, because I said this is a repeat webinar. I am doing Twitter on Monday, so I encourage you all to go back to register at business.qld.gov.au. Be signing up for all of the webinars. They are completely free and they're signed up as a resource. But bookings are essential. They have been incredibly popular, so we're locking off even the booking requests as we create the maximum so people aren't disappointed. But it is a case, I'm afraid, of first in, best dressed on that one. So I only say I know the Twitter one is quite heavily subscribed already. So if you are interested in learning to use Twitter for your business and also maximising the linkages to your Facebook page, I encourage you to join us for that one on Monday as well. Now this is a great resource and we're privileged to be able to bring it to you and to assist page owners this way, but we can only do so if you give us some feedback and show you the value of this to DD as well. There's complete resources here for Dee Dee. I encourage you to be using the business.qld.gov.au. It's an amazing website. Everything on setting up your business, lots of questions you may have on marketing your business as well as legalities of the business. I wish I'd known about it when I started my business. It would have saved me a lot of heartache and headaches. Also, make sure you're connecting on their Facebook page as well, facebook.com/businessqldgov, businessqldgov. Pop by and let them know what you thought of the webinar today as well, so we can encourage them to continue funding these into the future to assist business owners in Queensland. And if you are on Twitter, stop by their Twitter account and follow them as well. Again, twitter.com/businessqldgov. Now, there is a survey on its way to you right now. I'm going to pop it into the chat box. I really encourage you to take just a few moments to fill this out for us. It's only by getting your valuable feedback that we give you the information that is of most importance to you, you're getting the greatest benefit from, and also, too, that we can acknowledge our part and give feedback to Dee Dee on the fact that you want this information, you're receiving value from it, and what are the topics you would like to see us training on. I'm going to leave the lines open so that you can fill out. If you'll see the survey there's only 5 questions. It won't take you long at all, and I really appreciate taking that extra little bit of time to provide us with the feedback. Thank you for your time today. I look forward to meeting many of you on future webinars as